Have you ever walked into your garage and caught a faint, lingering smell of gasoline, even though there isn't a single drop of fluid on the floor? If you are riding a recent Honda Super Cub, your fuel tank might actually be breathing out fumes it is supposed to keep trapped inside. Stick around to find out why this invisible issue is happening and how much it will actually cost to get your bike back into compliance. For most owners of the 2019 to 2021 Honda C125, also known as the Super Cub 125 ABS, the riding experience is usually flawless. You are likely getting incredible fuel economy and enjoying that classic reliable Honda feel without any mechanical hiccups. Because the bike runs so well, many riders are completely surprised to find out their motorcycle has a significant non-compliance issue. The physical symptoms are incredibly subtle. You won't see a puddle under the bike, and you won't notice any stumbling, stalling, or loss of power while you are cruising through town. The most common sign is simply that gas station smell that seems to follow the bike into enclosed spaces. You might assume you just spilled a little during your last fill-up, but the reality is much more technical. This issue specifically affects the Honda C125 Super Cub 125 ABS for the 2019, 2020, and 2021 model years. This includes motorcycles produced between June of 2018 and May of 2021. While the Super Cub is the primary model involved, any owner of a C125 from this era should check their VIN against the Honda recall portal. If you were to plug in a diagnostic tool, you wouldn't find any trouble codes or a check engine light for this particular problem. This isn't a failure of a sensor or an electronic component that the computer can track. It is a material failure of the fuel tank itself, which is why your dashboard stays clear even while the issue is active. The technical term for what's happening is fuel system permeation. Honda and the NHTSA, under campaign number 21V72-2000, found that the plastic material used for these fuel tanks does not meet EPA or CARB standards. Basically, the plastic is too porous at a microscopic level, allowing fuel vapors to seep directly through the walls of the tank. Think of it like a cheap party balloon. The air doesn't leak out of the knot at the bottom. It slowly migrates through the rubber until the balloon goes flat. In your Honda, the gasoline stays liquid, but the hydrocarbon vapors sweat through the plastic. This contributes to air pollution and ground-level ozone, which is why the government stepped in. The only authorized fix for this is a full replacement of the fuel tank. Honda released Service Bulletin ML3 to guide technicians through the process. They cannot seal or patch the old tank. They have to strip back the seat and the body shrouds, drain the system, and install a completely new tank made of a compliant material. On owner forums and Reddit, some riders were initially hesitant to take their bikes in because the Super Cub was running so well. However, those who have gone through the process report that the repair is straightforward. The biggest piece of advice from the community is to show up to the dealership with as little gas in the tank as possible. If the tank is nearly empty, it makes the job much safer and faster for the technician. Some owners reported that their local dealers were able to swap the tank in just a few hours. Others mentioned that having the recall performed was necessary just to clear their registration in states like California, where emission compliance is strictly monitored. Because this is an official safety and emissions recall, the repair is performed free of charge by authorized Honda dealers. You should not have to pay for the parts or the labor. However, it is always good to know the real-world value of the work being done on your machine. If you were to pay for this out of pocket at an independent shop, you would be looking at about $450. This includes roughly $250 for the tank and 2 hours of labor at $95 per hour. At a dealership, the higher labor rate of $145 per hour and full MSRP on parts would push that total closer to $650. Even if your bike feels perfect today, getting this tank replaced is the right move for the environment and your bike's long-term paperwork. It ensures you won't have issues with registration renewals or smells in your garage. Most dealerships are well aware of Bulletin ML3 and can get the parts ordered quickly. Have you noticed a gasoline smell near your Super Cub lately, or have you already had your fuel tank replaced under this recall? Let us know about your experience in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more repair updates. Your feedback helps other riders stay safe and keep their bikes on the road.